Let me tell you something. I've been down before. I've been knocked on my back, left in the dirt, wondering if I would ever get back up. But here's the thing you got to understand. Failure is not the end. Failure is not a definition of who you are. It's a lesson. It's the universe's way of testing you, challenging you, pushing you to rise. It's saying, do you have the courage to get back up when everything seems impossible? See, I've faced those moments where things didn't go as planned, where I tried, I gave my all, and I still stumbled. I faced rejection, doors slammed shut right in front of my face. But here's the key. I didn't let that define me. You got to understand this. Rejection doesn't mean the end of your journey. It means you got to find another way. You've got to dig deep and discover what's inside of you that won't quit. The road to success is never a straight line, my friend. It's filled with curves, obstacles, setbacks. But what I learned is this: you can't be afraid to fail. You can't let the fear of losing stop you from playing the game. Because when you're willing to take those hits, when you're willing to fall down and get back up again, that's when you start learning. That's when you start growing. Failure is just a pit stop on the road to success. You'll never find greatness by avoiding failure. The real secret is that you have to want it so bad that you're willing to give everything for it, even when things look bleak. You've got to have that fire in your soul, that hunger that doesn't get extinguished by the first setback, the first failure. You've got to keep pushing, keep striving, keep believing that something better is just around the corner. Because believe me, it is. People will doubt you. They'll tell you you can't do it. They'll tell you your dream is too big, too impossible, too unrealistic. But you know what I say to that? Watch me. Don't listen to the doubters, the naysayers. Don't let their doubts infect your mind. Your journey is yours alone. You've got to be willing to do what it takes, to work when it's hard, to keep fighting when it's easier to quit. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is simple. They never give up. And when you feel like it's all falling apart, when you feel like you're just not good enough, I need you to hear me loud and clear. You are enough. You've got the strength inside you to keep moving forward, to keep believing, to keep pushing through. So remember this. Success doesn't come from avoiding failure. Success comes from standing up every time you fall, from not letting the world dictate your story. You decide who you are. You decide what you can accomplish. Keep going because your breakthrough is just around the corner. Failure is often seen as something to avoid, something to fear, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful tools we have for growth and success. Failure is not the end of the road. It's not a destination. It's simply a part of the journey. It's the universe's way of testing your character, your drive, and your willingness to keep moving forward when the odds are stacked against you. When we fail, it's easy to let that failure define us, but it's crucial to remember that failure is not a reflection of who we are. It's just a moment in time that teaches us valuable lessons about ourselves and the world around us. When you fail, what you're really experiencing is a lesson wrapped in a difficult package. Failure doesn't mean that you're not good enough or that you're incapable of success. It simply means that you've encountered a setback, a challenge to overcome. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go the way you plan, but here's the truth. We all experience failure. No one is immune. It doesn't matter how many successes someone has had or how perfect their life looks from the outside. Everyone falls at some point. Everyone faces defeat. The difference between those who ultimately succeed and those who don't is their ability to learn from failure and keep moving forward. Think about it. Every single successful person has failed. In fact, their failure is often what propelled them to success. They learned from their mistakes, adjusted their strategy, and tried again, each time improving their approach. They didn't allow their failures to define their worth. They didn't let failure tell them they weren't enough. Instead, they understood that failure was simply feedback. It was a sign that they were pushing boundaries, taking risks, and stepping outside their comfort zone. If you're not failing, then maybe you're not challenging yourself enough. When you fail, the first thing you need to do is take a step back and evaluate what went wrong. Failure is an opportunity to look at what didn't work, what could be improved, and how you can adjust moving forward. It's about being honest with yourself, understanding the mistakes you made, and using that information to become better, stronger, and smarter in the future. If you only focus on the pain of failure, you miss the opportunity to grow from it. But if you view failure as an essential part of the learning process, it becomes easier to embrace and less scary. The fear of failure is one of the most paralyzing things that hold people back from reaching their full potential. We often tell ourselves that if we fail, we'll be judged, rejected, or abandoned. But the truth is, failure is not a reflection of who you are as a person. It's simply a bump in the road. Everyone goes through it. In fact, some of the most successful people in the world have failed far more times than they've succeeded. They didn't let their failures define their worth. They let their determination and resilience do that. Failure also teaches us humility. When we fail, we're reminded that we don't know everything, and that's okay. It's okay to not have all the answers, to not always get it right. The most successful people are often those who are humble enough to acknowledge their shortcomings, learn from them, and grow. They don't have an ego that stands in the way of their progress. Instead, they approach failure with an open mind, willing to learn and adapt in order to improve. Another powerful aspect of failure is that it strengthens our character. Every time you get knocked down and get back up again, you build resilience. You develop the mental and emotional fortitude to keep going, even when things get tough. You learn how to handle adversity, how to deal with disappointment, and how to maintain your belief in yourself when the world around you may not seem as supportive. The ability to bounce back after failure is what separates those who give up from those who keep going. It's not the failures that define us, it's how we respond to them. Ultimately, failure teaches us that success is not a linear path. It's not a straight line from point A to point B. It's messy, it's complicated, and it's full of twists and turns. But that's what makes the journey worthwhile. When we fail and get back up, we become more resourceful, more creative, and more equipped to handle the challenges ahead. We gain wisdom that can only come from experience, and that wisdom becomes one of our greatest assets in the pursuit of success. So the next time you face failure, don't be afraid of it, don't run from it, embrace it, understand that it's a stepping stone, a necessary part of the process. Learn from it, grow from it, and use it to fuel your desire to keep moving forward. The road to success is paved with failures. And the more you fail, the closer you are to achieving everything you've ever dreamed of. The road to success is never a straight line. It's filled with detours, bumps, and obstacles that can throw you off course if you're not careful. When you set out on a journey toward your goals, you're going to encounter challenges, whether it's a setback in your career, a personal struggle, or a moment when everything seems to be falling apart. And it's in those moments of adversity that your true character is forged. Success isn't about avoiding difficulties, it's about how you respond when they arise. The key is not to let these setbacks define you or derail your journey. Every successful person has faced their share of obstacles. The difference between those who ultimately reach their goals and those who don't is how they deal with the obstacles that come their way. Some people see obstacles as the end of the road and allow them to stop moving forward. They give up, they get discouraged, and they believe that failure is the final word. But the truth is, setbacks are just part of the process. Every time you hit a roadblock, it's simply a reminder that you need to adjust your approach, adapt, and keep pushing. The most important thing to understand is that obstacles are not roadblocks. They are opportunities to grow. Think about it. Every challenge you face is a chance to learn something new about yourself, about the world, and about your path. When you encounter an obstacle, it forces you to think outside the box, to be creative, and to find new ways to overcome it. This is where innovation comes from, when you're forced to figure out a solution to something you've never faced before. Each setback builds resilience, and each failure teaches you a lesson that makes you stronger and more capable of handling the next one. You can't let fear of failure stop you from trying. In fact, the fear of failure can often be the very thing that prevents you from trying in the first place. But the reality is that failure is inevitable. And the sooner you embrace that fact, the better. Every time you face an obstacle, every time you encounter a challenge, you need to remind yourself that it's not permanent. It's temporary. It's a moment in time that will pass. And the only thing that matters is how you respond. Will you let it defeat you, or will you find the strength to keep going? It's easy to feel like giving up is the right choice when things get tough. But the people who make it to the other side of their challenges are the ones who refuse to quit. They keep fighting, they keep working, and they keep learning, even when it feels like nothing is going their way. Success isn't about having a perfect path. It's about being willing to keep going even when things are far from perfect. The key is to stay persistent, to be relentless in your pursuit of your goals, and to understand that success is not a destination, it's a journey. And that journey will never be without its bumps along the way. There's an important lesson to learn from failure, and it's this. Failure doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. It means you're on the right path, but you need to be flexible. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to take a different route. You may have to make adjustments, rework your strategy, and try something new, but that's okay. The fact that you're willing to pivot and adapt shows that you're learning, growing, and becoming more equipped to deal with whatever comes next. The process of overcoming obstacles is where the real growth happens. It's not in the victories or the moments of triumph that you truly grow. It's in the struggles. It's when you have to dig deep and find a way to keep going that you discover the strength you didn't know you had. Every challenge you face is a chance to develop not just your skills, but your mindset. You learn how to stay calm under pressure, how to think critically, and how to be resourceful in finding solutions. These are the qualities that will carry you through to the other side of your goals. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Surround yourself with people who support you, who believe in your vision, and who will help you push through when the going gets tough. The people who are cheering you on, who are helping you see things from a different perspective, and who are reminding you that you can make it. That's the kind of support that will keep you moving forward when things seem impossible. Ultimately, the journey towards success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort, and it's going to require you to keep pushing through the challenges. But every obstacle you face is just one more opportunity to prove to yourself that you can overcome anything. It's a chance to show the world what you're made of, to demonstrate your resilience, and to build a foundation of strength that will carry you through whatever comes next. Success isn't found by avoiding obstacles. It's found in how you respond when they appear. Keep going, because you're capable of more than you think. Believing in yourself is not just about saying, I can do this, and hoping it will happen. It's about taking ownership of your own potential and making the decision every single day to trust in your ability to achieve the things that you've set out to do, even when it feels like the world is against you. You have to believe in your vision, your goals, and your path, no matter how difficult or uncertain the road ahead may seem. Because at the end of the day, belief is the foundation that success is built upon. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Belief isn't something that just comes naturally. It's something you have to nurture, something you have to constantly feed and cultivate. It's about making a conscious decision every morning to remind yourself that you are worthy of success, that you are capable of achieving your dreams, and that the challenges in front of you are not there to stop you, but to make you stronger. The world will try to break you down. It will tell you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not talented enough. But those are the lies that the world feeds you to keep you small. If you believe those lies, then you've already lost. But if you reject them and say, I'm going to keep moving forward no matter what, that's when everything changes. Belief in yourself is also about being resilient in the face of doubt. You're going to have moments of weakness, moments when you question whether it's all worth it. You're going to encounter people who tell you that you can't do it, that your dreams are too big, too unrealistic. But those people, they're not the ones who get to define your future. You do. You are the author of your own story. And if you're willing to face those doubts head on, you can turn them into fuel that drives you to keep pushing forward. Doubt will always be there. It's inevitable, but it doesn't have to stop you unless you let it. Doubt doesn't win unless you stop believing in your ability to overcome it. There's a reason why successful people talk about perseverance so much, because success is not guaranteed. There's no clear-cut, easy path to greatness. It's a messy journey full of mistakes, failures, and hurdles. The key is that the ones who make it are the ones who keep going even when they don't feel like it, even when it seems impossible. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. The ones who make it never gave up. They believed in themselves when everything else was falling apart. They didn't let temporary setbacks define them. They knew that the road was long, the journey was tough, but they trusted that every step forward was bringing them closer to where they wanted to be. Belief in yourself also means being willing to take risks. It's easy to stay in your comfort zone, to play it safe, and to avoid putting yourself out there. But nothing extraordinary ever happens by playing it safe. If you want to do something great, you have to be willing to take risks, to fail, to stumble, and to fall down. It's in those moments of vulnerability that you discover your true strength. Every time you take a risk, every time you step outside your comfort zone, you're telling the world, I believe in myself enough to try, even if I might fail. And that kind of courage is what leads to breakthroughs, what opens doors that you didn't even know existed. There are going to be moments when it feels like the odds are stacked against you, when it seems like every door is closed, every opportunity is out of reach, and every dream is slipping further away. In those moments, belief in yourself is what will keep you going. You have to remind yourself that you are worthy of success, that you are capable of achieving your goals, and that no matter how tough it gets, you have the strength to keep fighting. There will always be obstacles, there will always be tough days, but your belief in yourself is the thing that will give you the energy to push through them. Belief is not just about a positive mindset. It's about action. It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk. You can say you believe in yourself all day long, but if you're not putting in the work, if you're not actively pursuing your goals, then that belief doesn't mean much. Belief without action is nothing. When you truly believe in yourself, you will back it up with effort. You'll make the sacrifices, you'll do the work, and you'll keep going, thriving you've ever dreamed of. Success is often portrayed as a final destination, a moment when everything falls into place and all your hard work pays off. But the truth is, success is not a single clear-cut event. It's a continuous journey. It's about the process, the journey, and the effort you put in every day, not just the moment when you reach the top. Success is built on perseverance, the ability to keep going even when things are not easy, when obstacles seem overwhelming, and when the end is not in sight. The key to achieving your goals is to embrace the idea that success comes from continuous effort, not from a moment of perfection. When you set out to achieve something, you're going to face challenges. You're going to experience failure, setbacks, and disappointment. And that's okay because that's how you grow. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about learning how to overcome it. Every time you face a setback, you have two choices. You can give up or you can rise above it and learn from it. Those who choose to rise, to keep moving forward despite their failures, are the ones who ultimately find success. It's the people who get knocked down but refuse to stay down that are the ones who make it. Perseverance is about staying committed to your goals, even when things aren't going as planned. It's about having the strength to keep going when the road ahead seems uncertain. Life will test your resolve, and there will be times when it feels like you're not getting anywhere, no matter how hard you try. It's in those moments when perseverance is most important. You have to keep pushing, keep working, and keep believing that even though it's tough right now, all your efforts will eventually pay off. The key to perseverance is not letting the temporary difficulties distract you from your long-term vision. It's about focusing on the bigger picture and trusting the process. One of the most powerful things about perseverance is that it builds resilience. Every time you face an obstacle and push through it, you become stronger. You develop mental toughness, the ability to stay focused and determined even when things aren't going your way. Resilience is a muscle, and like any muscle, it gets stronger with practice. The more you face challenges and continue to push forward, the more resilient you become. And the more resilient you are, the more equipped you are to handle whatever challenges life throws your way. Success requires resilience because the road to your goals will never be smooth. But the more resilient you are, the easier it will be to keep going no matter what happens. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's not something that comes to you because you have a great idea or because you're talented. It comes because you refuse to give up even when it feels like everything is falling apart. The people who succeed are the ones who stay in the game long enough to see it through. They understand that there will be ups and downs, that the journey will be tough, but they also know that perseverance is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Success isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about facing them head on and refusing to quit. Another crucial aspect of perseverance is patience. It's easy to get frustrated when things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like. We live in a world that demands instant gratification, but real success doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, it takes consistent effort, and it requires patience. You may not see the results of your hard work right away, and that can be discouraging. But if you're patient, if you trust the process, you'll eventually see the fruits of your labor. Perseverance and patience go hand in hand. Without patience, it's easy to give up when things don't happen quickly. But with patience, you can keep moving forward knowing that your efforts are adding up, even if you don't see immediate results. Success also requires the ability to stay motivated, especially when things get tough. Motivation is something that comes and goes. Some days you'll feel energized and ready to tackle anything. Other days you'll feel exhausted, frustrated, or unsure of yourself. But perseverance means pushing through those moments when motivation is lacking. It means continuing to take action even when you don't feel like it. It's about building habits that will keep you on track even when motivation is nowhere to be found. When you're committed to the process, when you're determined to reach your goals, motivation becomes secondary. The work becomes the priority. And that's what ultimately gets you to success. There's a saying that success is a journey, not a destination. And it's one of the most powerful truths about achieving your goals. When you focus too much on the end result, you miss out on the lessons and growth that come from the journey itself. The struggles, the failures, the moments of doubt, they're all part of the process. They're all opportunities to learn, to grow, and to become better. Embrace the journey with all its challenges, because it's those challenges that will shape you into the person who is capable of achieving success. So remember this: success is not a one-time event. It's a continuous process of perseverance, patience, and resilience. It's about showing up every day, putting in the effort, and staying committed to your goals, no matter how tough things get. Keep going, because each step you take, no matter how small, brings you one step closer to everything you've ever dreamed of. The journey may be long, but if you stay the course, success will be waiting for you at the end. In the end, the journey to success is not about avoiding failure or seeking a perfect path. It's about embracing the ups and downs with unwavering belief in yourself. It's about understanding that every setback is an opportunity for growth, and that obstacles are just stepping stones on the way to your goals. Success comes to those who don't quit, to those who keep pushing forward, learning from each challenge and rising stronger after every fall. Believe in your potential, stay resilient when times get tough, and remember that success is not a destination, but a continuous journey. Keep moving, keep fighting, and trust that with perseverance, you'll reach everything you've ever dreamed of.